Hey YouTube, my name is John Lee and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome. Today I'm going to be reacting to a video, but unlike my previous reaction videos, I will not be reacting to a music video. I'll be reacting to a webtoon. Now, I'm going to give you a very general introduction. The video channel that's on YouTube that I'm going to be reacting to is called Changbitju. Now, Changbitju is a channel that specializes in making really funny webtoons. And one of the great things about this webtoon channel is that, yes, the whole thing is funny, and yes, they all speak in Korean, but they also have really accurate English subtitles. And so with this video, yes, we are going to have English subtitles, so you will not have any trouble understanding it. But the thing about these subtitles is that although these subtitles are pretty accurate, they don't really tend to delve into a lot of the cultural nuances of the Korean language or Korean culture. And so I'm going to provide some commentary on that and explain why some of the scenes are funnier, and maybe you might be able to get them. I'll link some of these down below so that you can watch these videos yourself in the future. But yeah, I'm gonna make a series of these reaction videos because there are a lot of videos in Changbitju that I want to share with you guys as well. Now, as for me, I served in the Korean Army from 2011 to 2013, and so when I watched this video last year, yes, it was really relatable, but it was also really funny. And so yeah, I'm excited to share with you guys. So without further ado, let's start. Okay, now the reason why that was already funny from the beginning is because the story here takes place in 2018, and he's saying 2018년. And now that's how you say 2018 in Korean, but the last few words, 18년, which means the year 18, sort of sounds also like a Korean cuss word, which is kind of similar to fucking bitch. And so he's getting nervous, and he's when you are a conscript and you get first assigned to your barracks, there's a very specific way that you have to announce yourself. You have to give your rank and your name, and you have to give the date, and then you have to say a specific phrase that says, I was just assigned to this unit, and so here I am to report for duty. And when I first came to Korea back in 2011, now I'd visited Korea before numerous times, but I did not come to actually live in Korea until 2011. And so my Korean was really rusty, a lot rustier than it is right now. And because I knew that I had to say this announcement in a very specific way, I remember having to memorize this over and over in my head, trying to make sure that it did not mess up once I actually reached my barracks. And this guy, he just got out of his boot camp, and he just got assigned to his base and his unit, and he's nervous as well. And you can tell that the other conscripts who outrank him are just gonna chew him out for this already. Okay, two things from there already. In the Korean army, when someone addresses you and that person outranks you, you don't say yes sir. What you have to say is you have to give them your rank and your name all the time. And the reason why I was laughing at another thing over here was the word yeah. Now, yeah in Korean means yes, but depending on the inflection of how you say the word, it can mean excuse me. Now, for example, if I say yeah, that means yes. If I say yeah, that means excuse me. Now, that's a perfectly reasonable way to say excuse me if you are a civilian, but for some reason, when you are in the army, you're not allowed to say excuse me in that sort of way. And so he's already getting chewed out for this alrereally. Okay. Hyung is a Korean word for older brother. Now, you don't have to be biologically related to call someone Hyung. As long as you are close with someone and the guy is older than you can call him Hyung. Now, Hyung is not a word that women would use. It's only something that a man would use to address an older guy. But again, this is a trap. You're never allowed to use the word Hyung to address anyone in the army who is older than you. You must always address them by their rank. Okay, this is something that we do in the army as well. It's part of the hazing process where we always ask them if they have an attractive sister. Again with the yeah. Okay, that guy who is lying down on his bed with the blanket up. As soon as you go into your barracks, and when you are a private, you just arrived, and you see a guy lying in bed, comfortable as hell, and without a care in the world, that guy, his rank is Pyeongjang. Now, Pyeongjang doesn't really have an equivalent in the US Army, but when you have that rank in the South Korean Army, that means that you're almost done with your military service, and you're probably just about a few weeks away from being allowed to go home. And because he is at that stage in his military career, he just doesn't care about anything. He doesn't care about any sort of protocol. He just wants to sleep and just wait till he can just finally get his papers to go home. Okay, this guy right now, he's bending over, and he's got his head on the floor right now. That's a type of punishment that used to exist back in the day in the Korean Army. It does not exist anymore. It didn't exist when I served. Nowadays, whenever you want to punish someone, you get them to get into the push-up position, except that you don't go all the way down. Cigarette smoking breaks in the army. That was probably one of the best times ever. It was when you could just finally relax and just stay away from all those people who, outranked you, who was pretty much everyone when you were a private. We talked so much about all of these people wanted to punch you when we were in the army. Part of the hazing process, this guy was obviously just playing along. He outranked the guy who was actually giving him shit earlier. 죄송하면 군생활 끝나. If you translate that literally, it means, is your military career over? Or are you allowed to leave the army just because you say you're sorry? It's something that people who outrank you say all the time when they're cheering you out. There's just no good way to answer that question. Yeah, you never want to mess with a guy who's the son of the company commander, or the corps commander in this case. Okay, yeah. That's pretty much how hazing goes immediately. When I first joined the army, as far as hazing went, it wasn't nearly this bad. But what they did was, as soon as I arrived, everyone in my squad were already present in the room, and they said, hey, this is what they said to me: rank us by our looks. If you think someone is better looking than the other, pick the guy who's the best looking, and then the next best looking, and the next best looking. And that is just not a comfortable position to be put in, especially when all of them outrank you, and these kind of things can hurt someone's feelings. And it could be just a joke, or it could be something that they really take personally, and they could just hold that against you. My God, it was such a nightmare. Alright, so that was the end of the first video, but because these are only very short, they are like 2 minutes long, we're gonna just watch one more video and we're gonna call it a day after that.
아무리 네가 군단장님 아들이어도 이건 배워야 되는 거야, 알았어? 예, 알겠습니다. 비병 서다 보면 차량이 자주 올 거야. 예. 그중에 레토나라는 게 있는데 레토나가 뭔지 알아? 그 비타민.
Okay, so there are these cars in the Korean army that we call retonas. Now, I don't know where this word comes from, to be honest, but these are basically jeeps. And when you're on guard duty and you see a jeep coming your way, yeah, you do have to salute them and you do have to stop these cars and you have to ask them who they are. And the reason why you have to salute them is because when you're a conscript, you're basically a nobody. And if you're in a retona, yeah, you're at least an NCO. So you have to salute them whenever you see them.
그 서포터 레오나. 그 이름을 모른다고 해. 알겠습니다. 딱 봐도 존나 높은 사람이 타고 있을 것 같이 생겼어. 예, 알겠습니다. 아무튼 일단 그 차가 오면 차 옆으로 가서 경례를 해. 그리고 관등 성명 물어보고 무슨 목적으로 왔는지 물어봐. 네. 그리고 나서 야 찾았다. 내가 시범 볼 테니까 잘 보고 배워라. 예, 알겠습니다. 충성 관등성 몇 줄 봐도 되겠습니까? 나야. 예, 고생하십니다.
Now the guy just said 충성. That's what you have to say when you salute. 충성 basically means loyalty. Okay, so when you're on guard duty and you ask the person who they are and why they're here, as soon as the car passes by, you have to turn around and you have to announce to the guy in the booth that someone has come here, and that person in the booth will make a record of who had come and when and for what purpose.
뭐야 저거 왜 느려? 야 미친 새끼야!
I can't. The private forced the guy to get out of his car and get on all fours and pointed his rifle at him. Oh my god. Okay, now, if the guy turns out not to know the passcode, if the guy cannot give a proper answer, yes, even if you are a private, it is within your rights to get the guy to get out of the car and get on all fours and point your rifle at him. But usually it's not really a good idea because a person who comes to the base, yeah, they're not spies, they're not terrorists, they are soldiers who outrank you.
아니기는 너 솔직히 실탄 있으면 나 쏠 거지? 네 그렇습니다. 아닙니다. 잘못했습니다. 뭐라고 들었는데? 실탄 있으면 일병님 쏠 거냐고. 제대로 들었잖아 개새끼야. 죄송합니다. 야 찾았다. 한 번 더 보여줄 테니까 잘 보고 똑바로 배워라. 네 알겠습니다. 충성 관등선 몇 점만 되겠습니까? 북한에서 올 리철 중이다 이 새끼야. 무슨 용무십니까? 부대에 폭탄 설치하러 간다. 예 고생하십시오.
Okay, you see, a lot of the NCOs or officers who come to the base, they just want to mess with the guys who they just want to mess with the guys while on sentry duty. And by this point, when you are, not a private anymore, but you've already gained a few ranks, you know who everyone is, and they just want to mess with people and just be sarcastic because it's really boring to go buy the books every time. And so that's sometimes a kind of answer that an NCO or an officer might give you, and you don't take it seriously because you know who the guy is and you just let them through. You don't get them to get out of the car and point your rifle at them.
이상한 말 하고 있는 것 같은데. 어? 야마 왜 들어와? 김상호 일병 오시라는데. 왜 나를? 왜? 모르겠습니다. 오시라는데. 충성 일병 김 이게 여전장님. 들어봐. 들어봐. 이거 왜 이병이라고? 죄송합니다.
Okay. The reason why he's punishing the private first class is because when you are a private, you don't know anything. You're basically a baby. You're there to learn how to do your job, and so the fact that the private is going out to greet these people in their cars is it doesn't look good. It doesn't look professional. They expect the private to just stand at the background, observing everything and to learn everything. Now, once he gains a rank, then yeah, he's expected to do actually a lot more, but not when you are a private. Now, as hilarious as this scene is, it's also not a bit realistic because whenever you see a retuna pull up, you always see in the insignia at the front of the retuna. So you know who's actually in the car. You know what rank the person has just immediately by looking at the car, especially if they are as high ranking as this guy. So this is not all that realistic, but still funny as hell. Oh god, this is the worst thing. If an officer punishes you personally, that's just the end of it. You get someone yells at you a little bit and you say sorry and that's the end of it. But if the officer decides to punish the guy who outranks you instead, then it's going to lead to a whole new class of drama. The whole platoon, the whole division could get punished.
여단장이 오셨습니다. 여단장? 예, 여단장이 방금 들어오셨습니다. 갑자기 여단장이요? 야, 여단장 이름 뭐였지? 여단장님 이름이 범 뭐였던 것 같은데 기억이 안 나네. 박민성. 있습니다. 왼쪽이야? 야, 김상훈 정신 났어? 이름 뭐냐고? 야, 말씀냐? 여단장 이름 뭐냐고?
Okay, over there, that's the brigade commander. The brigade commander is his uncle, the private's uncle. So the private's father is the corps commander, and his uncle is the brigade commander. He comes from a military family, and all of the other conscripts decided to screw with this guy. They made the worst mistake ever. He knew. He knew what he was doing. Okay, so as I said, there is this webtoon series is hilarious. There's a lot of videos in this channel, which I highly recommend. I'll provide the link down below. But again, as you guys saw, there's a lot of translation issues. They are accurate, so to speak, but they do miss out on a lot of the cultural nuances. So yeah, like I said earlier, I'm going to be making more of these videos and going to be reacting to them and letting you know what you might miss just from the subtitles alone. But yeah, I love this channel. I love this series. It's great, and I can't wait to share more of them with you. Okay, so we're going to end this video right here. If you like this video, don't forget to click on the like and subscribe button. Don't forget to click on the notification bell. If you have a comment, leave it down below, especially if you've got your own stories in the military to share. I'd love to read about them. My name is John Lee, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.